Thank you for having me, Jeff. It's nice to be back in London and in excellent company. I thought I would try and read some from a few of the poetic plays, a few of my poetic plays. The first is called Objects Dinner Theatre with Guthrie Xing's Tender Buttons. And for this I need to ask 6 people to participate with me. It's very simple. It doesn't require much, just speaking sets of dialogue which you have cues for.
Oh, not for this.
One person? You can stay where you are.
We can stay where we are.
Yeah, you can stay where you are.
Oh God, really? Because this is quite uncomfortable.
Okay.
Have some over that side as well, yeah.
Hello, I'm not giving it to you.
So, if you have drink on a water glass on your place card, then let me know and I'll give you a water glass.
I have.
You have it.
Would be my one, wouldn't it?
That's one of your options.
Okay, thank you.
So
You don't have to drink it.
No, I don't have to drink it all. So this space is a tabletop cloaked in black, and the face of the tabletop is the face of a clock. And the characters, or the guests, are sitting at 10-minute increments. So each guest is 12:10, either 12:10, 12:20, 12:30, 12:40, or 12:50, respectively. And each guest has a set of dialogue or a vocabulary that's available to them, so they can speak either piece of the dialogue or of their vocabulary at any point. So whenever you feel compelled, say any of the one of 2 pieces of vocabulary that you have. You could also speak your name if you choose to. Whenever you feel like it, whenever you feel compelled. Say these. No direction.
We can't give it back now.
Can we say this any time?
Do we have to say the whole thing, or can we say just words?
Up to you.
Okay, thanks.
So I'm going to attempt to riff off of your vocabulary. All right, so I'll start. I'll just read through the script of the poetic play and try to riff off of you.
Please.
Okay? Does it make sense to everyone?
So when do we speak?
Whenever you feel like it.
Whenever one of these words or things, whenever we feel like
Just
it.
see if we can generate language.
Okay.
So it's completely arbitrary, it's not dependent on our position.
Completely arbitrary.
Fucking hell.
You're on video swearing now. I'll stick you with my
Is that part of the text as well? Or is that just
The clock
Oy
time
vey.
is not sequential.
So it doesn't need to be there.
And we can jam in whenever we want.
No, I think it's not in itself not at all.
Okay. We
Don't enter into dialogue.
Okay. Objects, dinner theatre, with Gertrude Stein's Tender Buttons. Cast, marionette, puppet master, umbrella, boot, jewels, round colorful ball, radio, photograph, 6 guests, 12 o'clock, 12:10, 12:20, 12:30, 12:40,
Sugar.
12:50. Dinner is served.
Delicious.
Act 1, Service 1. Umbrella.
welcome?
Seeing was
Sugar.
small piece. Umbrella, that
You.
nothing hang it. Umbrella, instance, just so much.
Spoon on side of water
Umbrella,
glass.
extra wagon worn. Umbrella,
Oh.
cloud,
For what?
ash, fender, gray about coloring. Umbrella
What?
means peace. Umbrella, small use sign.
Spoon.
Welcome.
Umbrella, it's not. Umbrella, high front dot.
Sugar.
Umbrella, nature. Umbrella, thinking language works where. Umbrella, writing reason, cause. Service 2. Boot, new say ways. Boot,
Whack.
shallow inkware. Boot, to take pathetic makes.
Delicious.
Boot, black best bale brown. Boot, isotropic postulates electric. Boot, a pearl. Boot, wall hull excellent. Boot, pounding shows damper. Boot,
Welcome.
primary less with makes care. Boot, stream rose soup goat.
Spoon.
Boot,
Well,
space
come.
object. Three. Jewels certainly shining. Jewels that yesterday change over cover. Jewels. Doubtful let borrowing breath. Jewels, nickel, gratitude. Jewels, upright earnest ships. Jewels, between postulates, prototype. Jewels, snapshots giving glitter. Jewels, localized particles glazed. Jewels, pure about shows. Jewels, unwelcome white wandering. Jewels, attract thing breakages.
Please.
Service 4. Colorful, round colorful ball. Violent question, supposing round colorful
Spoon
ball.
on side of water glass.
Cotton extreme, they're like round colorful ball. Places,
Please.
season, round colorful ball. Trimming sweetness, round colorful
Delicious.
ball. Roundness, sea getting round colorful ball.
Please.
Top kind clean,
Why?
little green, round colorful
Spoon.
ball. Bin tumbler, hope round colorful ball. Joy, pleasure, genuine.
Please.
Round colorful ball. Appearance. Service 5. Radio. That then sick taken. Radio. Rapid round box. Radio abstract. Radio whole box. Radio winged off empty radio.
Spoon.
Table radio. Table radio outward hardly idle pounded. Service 6. Sugar. Photograph. Shown found summer seats hour. Photograph. Getting gate shutting. Leather photograph. Up stool of turned photograph. Blackening 24. Photograph. Little collapse. Photograph. Readiness soldier relaxed over
Delicious.
paper. Photograph. Affecting. Photograph. Suppose lace. Photograph. Read which release. So that's the first one.
Please.
So maybe I'll just.
It's too late now.
Okay, so thank you for participating. I'll read pieces or parts from 2 more of these poetic plays.
Do we stop
Should
doing
we-
it?
Yeah, you can stop.
Please.
This is sort of a short piece that's a prelude to a longer piece that's a poetic play called Dove Notes to Refrain from Condition, which I've shown, I've projected onto a wall before. It's a sort of a visual piece, but this is the prelude, so it's called Refrain from Condition. Refrain from condition. Who have you collected? To the sound of clicking keys, among walls, a tall man with a drooping necktie, whom you have collected. Who have you collected? With refrains, skipping phrases familiar, a tall man with an undone necktie, whom you have collected. Seek key information. Who have you collected? A tonal accordance named a reliance, a talling man, his peaked necktie, whom you have collected. Seek key information. Who have you collected? A creaking stride in the night, record rooms, a tall man with a misplaced necktie, whom you have collected. Seek key information. Who have you collected, with slim fingers plucking strings, beckoning a tall man's pallor at his necktie, whom you have collected? Who have you collected? A slow note making a round back to a tall man adjusting his necktie as measures you've collected. So that's part of what will be, I'll be writing a piece called Condition, which will be a prelude to a piece called Portraits, a serial poetic play, and the forthcoming will be Portraits Negatives, which Condition will be prelude to. That makes sense.
Can you stop?
Do you want me to?
No.
But this is sort of one of the misfit portraits to the portrait series. It was too long, I suppose, to go into the pamphlet. So one last piece. This is portrait. Artist name, portrait, sketch. Title, set, the hose. The line to the shop where I get my top-ups. Year, scene. A transaction happening over the hose, 2 arms outstretched in transitional exchange. Soundscape of the street. Scene, rapid, frantic even, waving motions indicating the words, more hose or over here, top-ups, top-ups, top-ups. Dimensions, thought, did not see the source, the van, or what was on the other end of the tube, but did peek in to catch an oddly vulnerable and inappropriate, perhaps, scene like allies rallying around a birth. But in this either putting in or stirring or extracting, I could not tell which, and this lack of clarity, obscurity, not being helped by, an inability on my part to discern the contents, not being helped by, being a further inability to identify the substance of an area around which the activity seemed to focus, there was a hint of the greatest mystery. Medium, question. Was it as immediate a hint as the one a person is tuned into when witnessing the function of bees in a hive, laying in honey or wax perhaps? Or is it that association only made due to the appreciative voice of such television shows as are to be seen on the Nature Channel? In any case, it could have been that there was a crime being committed, or something of a similar buzz, or something not quite benign, something mysterious, off-known, off-limits, intimate and vulnerable, something which could only be glimpsed, and which perhaps may be under the folds, the sheets, the slips, the leaves, something that may in fact be the reason, the hum, the sense of all this coming and going by those personages on the street, something to the wax or the honey square, to the gaze, to the slip point, the melting point. Thought, word, the woman bird or bee at ease, for the sake of the bees and the turning of their honey square, their squares, that honey that turns their squares around, or the honey squares, those mystery machines, translations, ingredients, tying frames together, making moments, spaces of transformation, from front to back, from word to image, from frame to frame, from one moment to the next, from one space to the next, from one voice to another, from one body to another, the wax or the honey square, tending that thing, buzzing that thing, moving and buzzing and tending that space, doing that indescribably, nearly unreal, liminal, rare thing, this thing, its slip point, its transformative space, the action, the impetus, the inspiration, thought, and we do not know where that action comes from. What is the rise, the buoyancy, always a rise, to move from one moment to the next, to move forward and up, to translate, to make sense, to move forward and up, and on the environment and on the street or the front and back of the pages are the water bath of the wax rising in temperature. Again, what is the gaze causing the rise, the slip point, the melting point, where the outside of wax is molten and begins to rise in the water bath, in the street, in the space between the front and back of a piece of paper? Question, what made the thing? What goes to it? to those who attend to the wax or the honey square. Characters, the front and back of a page, one, the image, the other, the text, image word, which is front and which is back. Scene, what goes in the thing, anything?
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Thank you very much, Michael. We'll have a 20-minute break. God, people are going to make so much money tonight, the readers. In the break, if you could give me £5 if you're waged, and £3 if you're unwaged, and I will distribute it to everyone who's involved. Front of house. That's not quite front of house, is it? If anybody has any announcements that they want to make, please bring those announcements with you to the beginning of the second half. 20 minutes. What is it now? I always get this wrong. 20 to 9. 20 minutes is 9 o'clock. So.
Bravo! The mathematical genius.